The call from beyond. The message arrived during a routine scan of deep space frequencies. Lieutenant Commander Elena Reyes had been monitoring cosmic background radiation at Earth's deep space listening post theta when her equipment detected an unusual pattern cutting through the static. Control, this is Theta Station. I'm picking up an artificial signal on multiple frequencies, she reported, her fingers dancing across the console as she isolated and enhanced the transmission. Pattern appears to be repeating. Definitely not natural. Within 3 hours, Earth's Space Defense Command Center was buzzing with activity. Scientists, military personnel, and government officials crowded around displays showing waveform analyses of the alien transmission. Dr. Hiroshi Tanaka, Earth's leading xenolinguistics expert, stared at the screens with bloodshot eyes. It's definitely a message, he concluded, pointing to specific patterns. See these mathematical sequences, prime numbers, followed by what appears to be a star map. This isn't random noise. This is communication. Admiral William Chen, commander of Earth's United Defense Fleet, crossed his arms as he studied the data. Can we decode it, Doctor? Given time, yes. The mathematics are universal. We're already making progress. For 4 days, teams worked around the clock, sleeping in shifts on cots hastily set up in conference rooms. When Dr. Tanaka finally called for an emergency meeting, the exhaustion on his face was overshadowed by excitement. It's a distress call, he announced to the packed situation room. From a species calling themselves the Astrixi. They're under attack by something they call the Harvesters. Their civilization is being systematically destroyed, world by world. The room fell silent. Humanity had known they weren't alone in the galaxy for decades. Small, cautious contacts with alien traders had occurred, but most species kept their distance. Earth's high gravity, intense radiation, and extreme weather had produced humans that other species found deeply unsettling. In galactic classification, Earth was a death world, and its inhabitants were viewed with caution, even fear. Where are they? Admiral Chen asked. How much time do they have? A holographic star map appeared, showing a location approximately 8 weeks away with Earth's fastest ships. The message is already 3 weeks old, Dr. Tanaka said quietly. They're losing systems daily. Captain Marcus Rivera, commander of Earth's newest battle cruiser, the UES Thunderchild, stood up. Sir, with respect, we need to respond. General Thompson from Earth's Joint Defense Council frowned. These aliens have never done anything for us. Most species treat humans like savages or curiosities. Why should we risk our ships and people? Captain Rivera's eyes hardened. Because that's who we are. We don't ignore calls for help, not from our own, and not from others. The debate raged for hours. Political representatives worried about revealing Earth's true military capabilities. For years, humanity had maintained a facade of technological inferiority, letting the Deathworlder label provide a useful shield while they rapidly advanced their technology and expanded throughout their solar system. Finally, Admiral Chen silenced the room with a sharp gesture. Enough. I've made my decision. He turned to Captain Rivera. Prepare your strike group for immediate deployment. All ships, full combat load. You leave in 72 hours. The room erupted in noise, but Rivera merely nodded, turned, and left. 3 days later, Rivera stood on the bridge of the Thunderchild. Around his ship, 25 major warships and 60 support vessels prepared for departure, the largest fleet humanity had ever assembled. All ships report ready, Captain, said his first officer, Commander Sophia Lee. Rivera took a deep breath. He thought about the desperate aliens facing extinction. He thought about Earth and all the hardships that had forged humanity into what they were today. Send a message to the Astrixi, he ordered. Tell them help is coming. He paused. Tell them the Deathworlders are on their way. As one, the massive fleet disappeared into hyperspace, leaving behind only empty void where they had been. Humanity was going to war. The shipyards orbiting Mars and the Jovian moons exploded with activity. For the first time in a generation, dormant warships were being reactivated. Engineers worked around the clock, their faces illuminated by welding sparks as they prepared humanity's reserve fleet. Captain Amara Singh stood on the observation deck of her heavy cruiser, the UES Valiant. At 38, she had spent most of her career on peacekeeping missions and scientific expeditions. "Never anything like this. Beautiful, isn't she?" said a voice behind her. Singh turned to see Chief Engineer Rafael Mendoza, a stocky man with perpetually grease-stained hands. "The old girl's been upgraded with the latest weapon systems," he continued. "Those harvesters won't know what hit them." Singh nodded. "Let's hope it's enough. The Astrixi have already lost 5 colony worlds." Later that day, Singh briefed her command crew in the tactical center. Lieutenant Commander Kazuo Tanaka, weapons officer, had served with her for 8 years. Beside him sat Dr. Layla Hassan, shinobiologist, brought on specifically for this mission. Her job was to understand both the Astrixi they were saving and the harvesters they would be fighting. "The Chinese contingent is sending 3 dreadnoughts," Singh said, pointing to the fleet display. "The Euro-African Alliance carriers will launch our fighter wings. Pan-American support ships will handle logistics and casualties." "What about weapons?" asked Tanaka. Singh brought up a new display. Standard kinetic accelerators and energy weapons, but also something new. The image showed massive cylindrical devices. These gravitational disruptors were designed for mining asteroids. "We've repurposed them." Dr. Hassan raised her hand. "Captain, do we know anything more about the Astrixi?" "Not much. Peaceful species, advanced science, minimal military capability." "And the enemy?" Singh's expression darkened. "Only what was in the distress call. They strip planets of all resources, including the inhabitants." The crew fell silent, digesting this information. 2 days later, Captain Rivera's flagship arrived at Jupiter's L5 point, the gathering place for Earth's Armada. Singh watched from her bridge as ships arrived hourly. Sleek destroyers, bulky carriers, medical vessels painted white with red crosses, supply ships loaded with everything needed for extended warfare. "Never thought I'd see something like this," whispered her communications officer, Lieutenant Priya Sharma. Singh nodded. "Let's hope the galaxy is ready to see what humans can really do." On the 5th day, Singh was summoned to the Thunderchild for a final briefing. She joined 20 other captains in a secure room as Captain Rivera outlined their mission. "You've all studied the parameters," Rivera said, his voice steady. "The Astrixi are on the brink of extinction. We have one chance to save them." He activated a 3D map showing their route. "We'll use the new hyperspace drive configuration. 8 weeks in hyperspace, then we emerge here, at the edge of Astrixi territory." A science officer stepped forward. "We've managed to establish limited communication with the Astrixi leadership in hiding. They're surprised the humans are responding to their call." Someone laughed. "Bet they never thought they'd be happy to see Deathworlders." Rivera silenced them with a look. "This mission is about more than saving the Astrixi. It's about showing the galaxy who we really are." Back on the Valiant, Singh addressed her crew over the shipwide system. "In 6 hours, we depart on the most important mission in human history. The Astrixi have asked for help, and we will answer. Remember your training. Remember why we fight." As the hour approached, Singh stood on her bridge, watching as status lights turned green across her command console. "All systems ready, Captain," reported Tanaka. Singh took a deep breath. "Signal the Thunderchild. The Valiant is ready." Across the vast Armada, similar reports came in. Humanity's fleet minus 200 ships strong, prepared to jump into the unknown. "For Earth," Singh whispered. "For all of us," replied Commander Lee, who had overheard. The order came, and as one, the fleet vanished into hyperspace, leaving only stars in their wake. The Deathworlders had answered the call. Wrath of the Deathworlders. Hyperspace was beautiful and terrifying. Outside the viewports of the UES Valiant, reality twisted into impossible colors and shapes. Captain Singh had made dozens of short jumps before, but never a sustained journey like this. 8 weeks in the folded dimensions between stars. Status report, she called, her voice steady despite the strange feeling hyperspace always gave her. All systems nominal, Captain, responded Tanaka from the tactical station. Fleet integrity at 97%. 3 supply ships reported minor drive fluctuations but have stabilized. Singh nodded. 200 ships moving together through hyperspace was unprecedented. The fact that they'd only lost 3% efficiency was a miracle of engineering and training. And our ETA. 4 weeks, 2 days to Astrixie space, assuming no course adjustments. Singh rose from her command chair. Maintain course. I'll be in the strategy room. The strategy room had been converted into a war planning center. Maps of Astrixie space covered the walls. Though most were incomplete, the latest signals painted a grim picture. Dr. Hassan looked up as Singh entered. Captain, I've been studying the biological data the Astrixie sent. They're fascinating creatures. Tell me something useful, Doctor, Singh said, but not unkindly. Hassan projected an image of a tall, crystalline being with faceted surfaces that refracted light in complex patterns. The Astrixie evolved on a low-radiation world orbiting a stable red dwarf. Their bodies are silicon-based rather than carbon. They're physically fragile by our standards, but their scientific achievements are remarkable. And the enemy? Singh asked. Hassan's expression darkened. The harvesters appear to be multiple species working as one. The Astrixie described them as consumers. They strip planets of resources and biological material. Singh understood the implication. They're not just conquering, they're feeding. In the days that followed, the fleet settled into a routine. Combat drills ran constantly. Engineers fine-tuned weapon systems. Medical teams prepared for casualties. Captain Singh spent her evenings reading reports and her nights trying to sleep despite the strange dreams hyperspace often triggered. On the 30th day, she visited the ship's mess hall, surprising off-duty crew members. Captain on deck. Someone called. At ease, Singh said, grabbing a tray. I need coffee like everyone else. She sat with a group of young officers who nervously made room. Tell me, she said, stirring her coffee. What do you think about this mission? A young lieutenant named Alex Chen spoke up. The galaxy has always seen us as dangerous, Captain. The gravity of our world, the radiation, the predators we evolved alongside. They made us stronger than most species. Another officer nodded. My grandmother met aliens during first contact. Said they looked at humans like we were monsters. Singh listened as they talked. The crew understood what was at stake, not just the survival of the Astrixie, but humanity's place in the galaxy. On the 42nd day, a scout ship detected debris at the edge of their sensor range. Analysis. Singh asked as images came through. Astrixie design, Captain, said Tanaka grimly. Destroyed approximately 3 weeks ago. The harvesters are expanding their territory. Singh hit the comm. This is Captain Singh to all hands. We found evidence of Astrixie ships destroyed by the enemy. We're getting close. Stay alert. Stay ready. That night, Captain Rivera called a virtual meeting of all ship captains. The latest message from the Astrixie indicates the harvesters have taken 4 more systems, he said, his face grim on the screen. Our ETA is now critical. We'll be arriving at the edge of a war zone. All ships are to remain at combat readiness from this point forward. As the meeting ended, Singh stared out at the twisted reality of hyperspace. Soon, they would emerge into normal space, and humanity would reveal its true strength to the galaxy. For better or worse, the Deathworlders were coming. The fleet erupted back into normal space at the edge of Astrixie territory. Alarms blared across the Valiant as sensors came online. Report, Singh commanded, gripping her chair as the ship stabilized. "Multiple contacts," Captain Tanaka said, his fingers flying across his console. "Debris field ahead. Appears to be a recent battle site." Singh stood, staring at the view screen. The blackness of space was littered with shattered crystal and twisted metal, the remains of ships destroyed in combat. "Life signs." Dr. Hassan bent over her scanner. "Faint readings. One Astrixie vessel still intact but heavily damaged. Approximately 15 survivors." Singh didn't hesitate. "Notify Captain Rivera. We're moving to assist." She turned to her communications officer. "Send a message in the Astrixie language. Tell them we're human, we're responding to their distress call, and we're here to help." The Valiant broke formation, accelerating toward the damaged ship. As they drew closer, the damage became clearer. Huge sections torn away, scorch marks from energy weapons. "Prepare rescue teams," Singh ordered. "Dr. Hassan, you're with them. They'll need your expertise." Within an hour, the survivors were brought aboard. The Astrixie were just as Dr. Hassan had described, crystalline beings whose facets caught the light in hypnotic patterns. But these were injured, their structures cracked and darkened. One Astrixie stepped forward, moving with obvious pain, its voice translator activating. "You are humans from Earth." Singh nodded. "I'm Captain Singh of the Earth ship Valiant. We received your distress call." The Astrixie's facets pulsed in what Singh guessed was surprise. "The Deathworlders came to help us. We did not expect." "We don't abandon people who need help," Singh said simply. "What happened here?" The Astrixie leader, who called itself Crystallark, explained as medical teams treated the others. "This was a refugee convoy. The Harvesters attacked without warning 2 days ago. Our defensive fleet was destroyed weeks ago. We are losing." Ambassador Chen arrived from the diplomatic vessel and established formal contact with the Astrixie. Meanwhile, Dr. Hassan examined recovered harvester technology from the debris field. "This is troubling," she told Singh in her ready room. "Their weapons are designed not just to destroy, but to collect. They're harvesting biological and mineral material alike." "For what purpose?" Singh asked. "Unknown, but the Astrixie believe the harvesters consume other species and worlds to evolve." The fleet remained in position as more Astrixie survivors were located and rescued. Captain Rivera arrived on the Valiant for a strategy meeting. "The situation is worse than we thought," he said grimly. "The harvesters have taken 27 Astrixie systems already. The remaining Astrixie leadership is in hiding on their homeworld." Singh studied the star map. "We need to push deeper into Astrixie space, establish contact with their government." Rivera nodded. "Agreed, but be careful. Our scout ships detected harvester vessels at these coordinates." He pointed to several locations. "They don't know we're here yet, but that won't last." 3 days later, the fleet moved in formation toward the Astrixie homeworld. Singh stood on her bridge, watching as stars streaked past. "Captain," Tanaka suddenly called out. "Multiple contacts at extreme range. Configuration matches harvester scouts." Singh straightened. "Battle stations. All hands, prepare for combat. Notify Captain Rivera." The alarm echoed through the ship as crew members raced to their positions. Across the fleet, weapons powered up and shields hummed to life. "They've spotted us," Tanaka reported. "The scouts are turning to run." "Intercept course," Singh ordered. "They can't warn the main fleet." The Valiant surged forward, its engines glowing hot. 3 other destroyers joined the pursuit, closing rapidly on the fleeing harvester scouts. "Weapons range in 30 seconds, Tanaka reported. Singh watched the tactical display. If the scouts escaped, they would lose the element of surprise. Fire when ready. The Valiant's main guns roared to life, sending streaks of superheated plasma toward the harvester scouts. The other destroyers fired in perfect coordination, creating a web of destructive energy. 2 harvester ships exploded instantly. The third attempted evasive maneuvers, but was caught in the Valiant's second volley. All targets neutralized, Tanaka reported. A cheer went up on the bridge, quickly silenced by Singh's raised hand. Don't celebrate yet. That was just the advance guard. The fleet regrouped and continued toward the Astrixie homeworld. 2 days later, they arrived in orbit around Crystallis, a beautiful world of towering crystal formations and iridescent oceans. The Astrixie leadership emerged from hiding, their facets glowing with what humans now recognized as hope. First contact protocols were established, and within hours, a joint command center was operational. The main harvester fleet is here, the Astrixie's supreme crystal arch indicated on the star map. They have consumed 7 of our worlds already, and will reach our homeworld in 3 days. Captain Rivera studied the harvester fleet movements. We have the element of surprise, but they outnumber us 2 to 1. Singh pointed to a nearby asteroid field. If we position our fleet here, we can use the gravitational disruptors to collapse part of the field onto their advanced ships. A trap. Rivera nodded. I like it. The plan was set in motion. The human fleet positioned itself strategically while Astrixie scientists worked alongside human engineers to enhance their weapons with local crystal technology. 3 days later, long-range sensors detected the approaching harvester armada, hundreds of ships of various sizes, all moving with a singular purpose toward the Astrixie homeworld. They still don't know we're here, Tanaka reported. Singh nodded to Rivera on the view screen. All ships in position, Captain. Very well, Rivera said. Operation Deathworld begins now. The first phase of the attack was devastating. As the Harvester Vanguard entered the asteroid field, human ships activated their gravitational disruptors. Massive asteroids were pulled from their orbits, accelerated to incredible speeds, and slammed into the enemy ships. Dozens of Harvester vessels were destroyed or crippled before they could even react. But the Harvesters adapted quickly. Their remaining ships regrouped and accelerated toward the human fleet, energy weapons charging. Here they come, Singh said calmly. All hands, brace for combat. The space between the fleets lit up with energy beams, kinetic rounds, and explosive ordnance. The human ships, designed for the harsh conditions of Earth's solar system, absorbed punishment that would have destroyed most alien vessels. They returned fire with devastating efficiency. The battle raged for hours. Singh's Valiant took heavy damage but remained operational, its reinforced hull holding despite multiple direct hits. Around them, human and harvester ships alike were reduced to debris. We're losing ground, Tanaka reported as another human destroyer exploded. Their numbers are too great. Singh studied the tactical display, then opened a channel to Rivera. Captain, what about Plan Omega? There was a pause before Rivera replied. You realize what that means, right? Everyone will know what we're capable of. Better than letting the Astrixie die, Singh replied. Rivera nodded. Very well. All ships, implement Plan Omega. Authorization code. Deathworld. Across the human fleet, special compartments opened, revealing weapons that humanity had developed but never used, never even revealed to the galactic community. Antimatter warheads. Quantum disruptors. Dimensional folding devices that briefly connected normal space to the chaotic realm of hyperspace. The Harvesters never stood a chance. Within an hour, their fleet was in ruins, the survivors fleeing in disarray. As the dust settled, the Astrixie leadership contacted the human fleet. You saved our people, the Supreme Crystal Arch's translator conveyed. The galaxy has misjudged the Deathworlders. Rivera smiled tiredly. Perhaps it's time the galaxy learned what humanity truly is. Not just survivors of a harsh world, but protectors of those who cannot protect themselves. In the days that followed, news of the battle spread throughout the galaxy. Other species, long fearful of humans, now saw them in a new light. The Deathworlders had revealed themselves not as conquerors, but as guardians. Captain Singh stood on the observation deck of the Valiant, watching the crystal cities of Crystallis glitter below. Dr. Hassan joined her, carrying 2 cups of coffee. The Astrixie are proposing a formal alliance, Hassan said, handing Singh a cup. And they're not the only ones. 3 other species have contacted Earth in the last day. Singh nodded. Everything changes now. Are we ready for that? Hassan asked. To be seen not as monsters, but as protectors. Singh smiled, sipping her coffee as she looked out at the stars. I think we've been ready for a long time. On Earth, Admiral Chen received the reports from the Astrixis system, casualty lists, damage assessments, and requests from a dozen alien species for diplomatic relations. He leaned back in his chair, looking at a picture on his desk. His grandfather, who had been part of humanity's first contact team, facing aliens who had regarded humans with fear and suspicion. We've come a long way, he murmured. The Deathworlders had revealed their true nature to the galaxy, and the galaxy would never be the same.